Success is not an excuse. So what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is whatever you're good at doing, whatever you like to do, and whatever you're good at and whatever you're successful with does not mean that you can take it easy. It doesn't mean that you can just focus on the strength and not think about the weakness. So one of the problems a lot of people have, including myself, is that we like to focus on what we're good at. So we like to focus on, if we have money, we like to focus on that. We like to stand on that. If we're in great shape, we want to focus on that. Want to think about that. The problem with that is that doesn't do anything for the areas of our life that we're not as good at. And strengthening those areas, strengthening the weaknesses, is going to make our life so much better than just getting stronger with what we're already good at. So if I have money, what difference does it make to my overall quality of life if I have more money? Whereas if I have a vice, if I have an addiction, and I work on that, and I fix that, like let's say that I'm an alcoholic, and I start going to meetings, and I go to AA, and I fix that problem. How much better is my life going to be having focused on that, as opposed to just thinking about what I'm good at? So that's a big issue, because I personally want to be holistically whole. I want to have a good life in all areas, and that is very hard to do. I know very few people that have it going in all areas, but that's the ultimate goal. I could probably count them on one hand. But if that's what I want, then that's what I have to do. So I have to focus on the things that I'm not as good in to level up my life and my emotions and my mentality. And I know from experience that when I do that and I focus on the weakness and I improve that, my whole life changes in a way that is hard to describe. So that's something that I think everybody struggles with, and it's something that we need to think about, because that is what's going to make our lives a lot better, is focusing on the things that we're not as good in as opposed to focusing on the things that we are. And then we can put things together in a holistic way, and we feel great. Because every time you do that, think about how you feel when there was something that you weren't strong in and you fix it. It's such a powerful thing. And then you can share it with others. And we have to make all the mistakes in life in order to really appreciate the successes. So we have to understand what it's like to be broke to appreciate what it's like to be rich. We have to be alone to appreciate what it's like to be in a great relationship. So it's all part of the process, and we shouldn't ignore it or fear it. We should just embrace it as part of the process, because it's helping us to grow. So if we think about life in terms of there are no losses, there are just growth experiences, it's very powerful, because that's the truth. There are no losses. Everything is a growth experience. Everything is a chance to level up and to get better. And you have to be willing to fail. And if you're willing to fail, that's when you can succeed. But if you never want to fail, you never push yourself, and you never get better, and you don't grow. So many people out here are stagnant. They're just going through the motions because they just want to focus on what they feel comfortable with. But that's not how you get better. And that's not how you feel good about yourself. So that's key to success and to life and to feeling good about yourself and to helping others, which is ultimately the goal. You have to focus on the spirit as opposed to the ego. The ego is never satisfying. It's really a distraction. The ego distracts you from the spirit. The spirit is the only thing I've ever done in my life when I'm connected to the spirit and I'm helping other people. That's the only thing in my life that's ever really done anything for me over the long term.